Is your church the best kept secret in town? Well, stick around because in this video, we're going to be talking about how to grow a church congregation, and I'm going to give you 3 tips that you may never have heard of. They're going to help you attract new visitors and actually grow your church. Coming up. Hey, what's up? Welcome back. If we're meeting for the first time, my name's Chris Abbott, and I've helped thousands of churches attract thousands of new visitors over the last several years, and that's exactly what this channel is dedicating to helping you do. All right, now the 3 tips we're going to share with you in this video, we actually helped a church of 15 people use this exact strategy to grow from 15 to 50 in only 2 months. We helped a church plant of 60 grow from 60 to 110 in only 3 months, and we helped a church of 130 grow to 200 and actually break the 200 barrier in less than 3 months. But make sure you stick around to the end because we actually have a bonus tip that's going to help you get everybody back in the door after they come in for the first time. And we all know the only thing better than a first-time visitor is a second-time visitor. All right, so when Pastor Tony first came to us, the problem that he was having is that everybody in his church would come up and say, hey, Pastor Tony, man, our church is the best kept secret in town, right? And the bummer is they actually meant it as a good thing. Like, man, this is awesome. We have such a great church. We're the best kept secret in town, right? But every single time Pastor Tony was like, ugh, that sucks, right? That means nobody knows who we are. That means nobody knows we're here, right? And so they had a relatively small town and they'd been there for several years, but they just couldn't get the word out, right? They're just staying stuck at 60 people. So he came to us and asked for our help using social media to be able to get the word out and actually reach more people in a city. And in only 3 months, his church went from 60 to 110. So I'm going to share with you the exact 3 things that we helped his church do so you can do them at your church. All right, tip number 1, Facebook ads. Now, there's 2.7 billion people on Facebook and 1.8 billion log in every single day, right? That makes Facebook the single largest missions field in the history of the church. So we have to begin to look at it that way. We have to look at Facebook ad as a way to be able to reach people with the gospel and with the life-changing message of your church, and not just as a social media platform where we catch up on what our friends from college are doing or we post about our kids. And we definitely don't want to use it as just an announcement platform to let people know about our new sermon series or all the things that are going on in the church, right? If you're just constantly announcing, you're just kind of adding to the noise, right? What we want to do is we want to figure out exactly how to provide value to people's lives. The best way to do that is with a ministry first Facebook ad. Now, what do I mean by ministry first? Well, here's what most people do, right? We invite people to church so that we can do ministry, right? And it makes sense. It's like, well, if we can get them there on Sunday, then we can get them saved, get them baptized, get them plugged into a serve team or a small group, right? But we invite people to church so we can do ministry. But what you need to do is flip that. And you actually need to do ministry first and then invite people to church. So we started doing this with some of our church partners about 18 months ago, and that's when everything just exploded for us. In fact, we were actually able to generate over 58,000 prayer requests for the churches that we work with, and over 6,000 new families who plan to visit to those churches. Right? So literally the whole idea is just that we're not going to put it on blast and just invite everybody, right? This isn't like a billboard that you just kind of like set it and forget it and then hopefully people just pour in the front door, right? It would be awesome if some type of solution like that actually exists, but I've never seen it, right? This isn't Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. You actually have to do ministry with people. And so the best way to do that is with a Facebook ad. And we call it a ministry first Facebook ad because what you want to do is you want to offer some type of ministry in that ad, right? So a great way to do this is like, how can we pray for you? Right? So now you have a way to actually connect with people and you're providing value and you're not just inviting them out to church, you're actually praying for them. In fact, my pastor did this when he first started the church in 1992. We actually called this the gas station principle. Because what he did when he was first planting the church, he would actually just go out to the local gas station down the street and he would pump people's gas. And while he was pumping their gas, he'd say, hey man, how can I pray for you? Right? And so people were like, man, is the gas station attendant trying to pray for me right now? Like what's going on? Right? But people were like, well, my marriage kind of sucks. He said, okay, great. Let's pray for your marriage, right? And so what happened is because he was praying for 200 or 300 people every single weekend, the church grew really fast because some of those people would say, hey bro, why are you doing this? Do you work for the gas station? You just say, oh no, actually, I'm pastor of the church right down the street, right? And so some of them would say, well, what time's church on Sunday? That's the advantage of doing ministry first. He wasn't out there passing out tracts or passing out invite cards or just inviting people to church, right? It wasn't an invite strategy. This was a ministry strategy. He was literally just out there giving ministry away, connecting with people, asking how he could pray for them, and then inviting those people to church, right? And so the same thing is going to happen to you. The best way to do that is with a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad. All right, tip number 2, plan your visit. If you're not familiar with Plan Your Visit and this is your first time hearing about it, Plan Your Visit is pretty simple. It's just simply giving people the opportunity to sign up and schedule an appointment to visit your church on Sunday. right? So this way, if someone signs up and lets you know ahead of time, and you know that, hey, John Smith and his wife Susie are coming to church on Sunday, well, now you can assign a friendly person from your church to meet them at the front door, help them get their kids checked into kids' church, show them around the church, give them a tour, introduce them to some key staff and leaders, and then save seats with them in the service. And we recommend even sitting with them during service, right? There's nothing worse than coming to church and sitting by yourself and like feeling like that loser on the first day of high school who walks into the high school cafeteria and looks around and doesn't see any of his friends and then freaks out and gets nervous, and then sits at the lunch table closest to the door by themselves feeling like an idiot, right? Like, I don't know if that's ever happened to you guys. It's totally happened to me. You feel like a loser. You did, dang it. I promised I was going to walk up to the cool table and I was going to introduce myself and sit down, and now I'm sitting at a table like a loser by myself. Well, the same thing happens to church guests when they walk into church for the first time, right? They walk in, they look around, they don't know anybody, they don't know what to do, they feel awkward, they're standing out, so they just take a seat in the back because that's where the door is, right? And they literally are sitting by themselves, and then a lot of churches leave them alone thinking, well, maybe they just kind of want to, take things in. We don't want to pressure them. No, of course they want to talk to you, right? Nobody likes sitting by themselves. So with Plan Your Visit, you can actually have seats already scheduled for them and have your Plan Your Visit host sit with them during service so they don't feel awkward. Now, when my church first discovered and started using Plan Your Visit, we actually increased our first-time visitors in the first month by 42%, in month 2 by 60%, in month 3 by 87%, and then in month 4 by 113%. And it literally just began to snowball from there, right? There's something about giving people the opportunity to schedule a visit to come to your church and actually have somebody meeting them at the front door and showing them around. Now, I can't pack everything that you need to know about Plan Your Visit into this, 10-minute video. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you get notified whenever we drop new videos. All right, and tip number 3, chatbots. Okay, now this is a little bit more of an advanced strategy, but it's really, really powerful, right? A chatbot is basically like a choose your own adventure text message that lives inside of Facebook. Right? So if you ever read the Choose Your Own Adventure books when you were a kid, right? You get to the end of the chapter and you see a dark cave. Do you A, go into the cave, B, run the other direction? And then basically you'd flip to what page it was and then the story would continue that way. Well, it's kind of the same thing with a chatbot, right? So you can actually create predetermined responses and buttons and ask questions, creating a chatbot, and then people, depending on how they answer or which button they click, it'll take them to a different response and kick off a series of things. So for example, you might be able to use it to say, hey, are you interested in coming to church on Sunday, right? And if they click yes, then it takes them to more information about your location and service times. And if they say no, you say, okay, no problem. Here's the live stream link in case you'd like to check it out online this Sunday. The most important thing to remember with the chatbot is just to keep it conversational. The only reason a chatbot exists is just to engage people inside of Facebook Messenger, and then eventually for you to jump in as a human so you can have a one-on-one ministry conversation. The reason I love this strategy is because I personally believe that the future of ministry is personal. Right? So with everything that's been going on in the world and everything that's going, we become more and more disconnected from people, right? Especially with the pandemic, people are stuck at home, for months, sometimes, over a year, and people don't touch us more, they don't interact as more, and we're so disconnected. I personally believe that the future of ministry is personal. It's one-on-one personal ministry. So if you can use a Facebook ad that goes into Messenger and you can use a chatbot to engage people, you can actually jump in and have a one-on-one personal ministry conversation with people who live all throughout your city. And I believe this is the future of how to grow your church and do ministry at scale. Okay, and finally, we have a bonus tip. Now, if you follow the first 3 tips we talked about and you're getting people to come into the church, then one of the most powerful things that you can do is you can send a Monday morning selfie video to every single person who fills out a Connect card on Sunday. So regardless of whether or not they signed up for Plan Your Visit or if they just showed up, right? What you want to do is you want to take all of the Connect cards on Monday morning and you want to send a personalized selfie video just using a smartphone, just using their first names, right? If they brought kids, using their kids' names, thanking them for coming on Sunday, and then just inviting them back the following Sunday, right? This is really, really powerful because it's personal, right? So imagine somebody showing up at your church for the very first time. Maybe they plan to visit. Maybe they just decided to show up. They have a great time. Their kids have a good time in kids' church, and they're thinking, man, should we go back? We kind of really like this church. It was good. But then imagine the next day on Monday morning, they get a personalized video from you just saying like, hey, John and Susie, what's up? This is Pastor Chris. Hey, I just wanted to thank you personally for coming out to church yesterday. I hope little Johnny and Sally had a great time in the kids' church. I know Pastor Kathy said she had a great time with them back in the kids' area. And so, man, I just want to thank you for coming and invite you back next Sunday. We're having service again, 9:30. Can you make it? Right? Something that powerful of just a personal video using their names, using their kids' names, thanking them for coming, and then inviting them back out the next Sunday. Really, really powerful. And you'll see your assimilation will go like this, and the amount of people that start coming back is going to skyrocket simply because of a 60-second Monday morning selfie video. Okay, so if you like this video and you want to learn a little bit more about Plan Your Visit, check out my other video, How to Welcome Guests at Church, where we do a little bit of a deeper dive into the Plan Your Visit framework.